Hi, everyone. I'm Rob Similcan in New York. This is Money Matters. Today is Friday, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to check in with our very own savvy consumer. Good Morning America consumer correspondent Elizabeth Leamy. And Elizabeth, this week the viewers got to pick the topics, and you're going to answer some questions viewers emailed us, right?
That's right. I always appreciate getting these letters from folks. I have the chance to respond to things that are actually happening to people, and I've chosen the ones that probably affect the most people. I can't answer them all.
All right, well, let's check them out. We'll start with question number one. It says, I posted a van for sale online. I got 4 similar emails from 4 different people telling me they would send me a money order or a certified cashier's check, and their shipper will pick up the van for shipment overseas. That seems a little bit fishy to me. That's CG from Goose Creek, South Carolina. What do you think? Fishy?
Smart viewer, very fishy. Indeed, this person is on to one of the biggest, most rampant scams out there right now. It's called a check overpayment scam. If CG had fallen for this, here's what would have happened. The buyer, the fake buyer, would have sent CG what looked like a cashier's check, and it would have been for more than the amount they had agreed upon for the van. The buyer would have then asked him to forward the difference on to the shipper. Well, later on, if CG had fallen for this, they would have discovered that the cashier's check was a fake, even though the bank cleared it, and that they had just sent their own money onto this third party. So bottom line with these check overpayment scams, if someone sends you a cashier's check for more than the amount of something you're trying to sell and asks you to refund or forward money, it is a scam. Period. There are lots of different versions of this, but it is a scam. Don't fall for it.
All right, CG, another savvy consumer out there. Good one for him. Our next question comes from JS in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I have $12,000 in credit card debt. I have talked to several companies that offer this service where you pay so much a month and they take care of everything else. The charge is 12% of what I owe. Is this legit, or should I talk to someone in Tulsa that is a nonprofit agency? Thanks in advance for your help, JS from Tulsa. What do you think?
All right. Well, first of all, just because a company is a nonprofit doesn't mean that it's good. In fact, there are a lot of credit counseling agencies out there that do have nonprofit status and actually have just gotten in big trouble with the IRS for abusing that status and really stealing money from people who can least afford it, people who do have credit problems. I always recommend the decades-old, tried and true standby Consumer Credit Counseling Service. What they do for you is they negotiate easier payment plans with your creditors. You then send them a check and a modest fee for them, nothing like 12% of the debt. Come on.
That's a
modest fee, a modest fee to CCCS. They then forward your money on to your creditors, and they also offer a lot of terrific classes about how to budget, how to save for a home, how to clean up your credit, and so forth. And I have posted the toll-free number for CCCS in my column this week for anybody who wants to contact them. That central number will then refer you to the closest one to you anywhere in the country.
All right, well, speaking of credit, SB in Houston says, I have I think he meant bad credit, really bad credit. I can't buy a house or a car or anything. No one wants to help. I have 2 children, 17 and 10, no other income. I am a single mom. I would appreciate it if I could get help cleaning my credit and be able to purchase a house. Please point in the right direction. That is a serious problem for a lot of people, Elizabeth.
Yes, and somebody like this could easily fall prey to another scam, which is credit repair. Nobody can repair your credit if it really is bad. Now, if there are mistakes on your credit report that are not true, we can work on those. But there are a lot of companies out there that will claim they can erase bad credit through a series of tricks and magic, basically. It's not true. Once again, this person would be best off going to my favorites, Consumer Credit Counseling Service, the same agency I was just talking about.
All right, the next question comes from Florida. CW writes, I have recently been receiving calls from a bill collector about a credit card that I assume has been written off because it has been so long. I didn't see it on my credit report when I last pulled it in 2004. Can they come back at someone after it's been written off? CW from Viera, Florida.
Okay, this is interesting. After 7 years, credit card debts fall off your credit report. They cannot be put back on at that point, nor can you be sued over them in court. The statute of limitations in court runs out. However, These old debts, there is nothing that prevents collection agencies from coming after you for them. They're often called zombie debts, and it's actually a growing sector of the debt collection field. These companies that specialize in collecting on these really old debts. And because they're so old and so many others have failed, they can sometimes use some really heavy-handed tactics. But here's one of my favorite tips of all time. All you have to do when one of these debt collectors calls you is ask them for the name of their company and the address of their company, then write them a letter, send it certified to cover yourself, and simply ask them not to contact you anymore. By law, they must obey. They will not contact you anymore.
Very good
Pretty
tip.
neat.
And some of them can be very aggressive, I know, so that is an excellent tip. All right, next, JD says, after a couple of major auto problems, which occurred under my warranty, and numerous attempts to repair the problems, I was finally told the dealer had made enough attempts, and now my car is out of warranty. 2 years of trying to fix my vehicle have been in vain. Apparently, companies are putting profits ahead of customer satisfaction. That's shocking, by the way, JD, with that email. Elizabeth, what do you think? Is this a common problem?
Well, I hope that JD bought the vehicle new, because if so, he or she is probably covered under the state's lemon law. Each state has a lemon law. They do differ, but cars are covered by these lemon laws, unlike toasters and all sorts of other things we buy. And it just varies from state to state exactly how much time you have, how many miles on the car, how many years after you purchase it, and then how they define a lemon varies too. But a couple of examples. In one state, for example, if the dealer has made 3 attempts to repair the same problem and they still haven't been able to get it right, it's considered a lemon. In another state, if your car has been in the shop for a cumulative total of more than 30 days, at that point it's considered a lemon. But remember, a lot of people use the term lemon as slang for just a bad car. Lemon laws refer only to cars that you purchase brand new, or in a few exceptions, if somebody brought it brand new recently and then quickly sold it to you, you might be covered by the lemon law.
All right, Elizabeth Leamy, you had a full mailbox this week. You're very popular.
Yes, indeed.
Good job and good advice from Good Morning America consumer correspondent Elizabeth Leamy. Thank you as always. And you can read Elizabeth's weekly column by logging on to abcnews.com. Just click on the Money section.